Hi, everyone, and welcome to your quick drop in for your mental health hack tonight. Thank you for joining, or tonight, today, whatever time it is in the world. So, today I wanted to chat about something that comes so easily for some and not so easily for others. And sometimes it's wrapped in so much self-judgment and self-loathing and self-criticism that we end up not doing it anyway. And what I'm speaking about or referring to is rest and relaxation for our mental health. Now, I hear you if you're about to interject and say, Petra, I do not have time. Where am I supposed to have time or find time when I work, when I have a family to look after, when I have to schedule after hours family activities, responsibilities, and you have a whole list. And trust me, my whole adult life, I have been the same. I've prescribed to the habit of being busy and have every reason and justification under the sun as to why I couldn't take time off. And even today, even though I've gotten a lot better with making time for myself, and the kicker is to not make myself wrong for it, I still get triggered when people say to me, P, have the best time, make time for you, just relax, take time off. It still triggers me. So it's still something that I'm aware of because it was years of patterning and conditioning. So, what is your pick? What is your Achilles heel, maybe, or Achilles tendon, Achilles heel, either or both? What is it that really triggers you when someone says, relax? Are you the type that wants to literally just fight back and say, look, no time for relaxation? It's great for everyone else. For me, I'm really busy. I have stuff to do. I'm building my empire, or I'm looking after my family, etc., etc. And I get it. Like I said, I'm a business owner, so a sole proprietor, entrepreneur. If I'm not working, I'm not earning. Well, that's at least how it had been for so many years. And, for a long time, for 11 and a half years, I spent my life dedicated to someone else, to making sure that their well-being was looked after, from the shopping to the cooking to the meal prepping to the admin at home to the finding jobs and being someone's PR agent and someone's cheerleader, and plus looking after my girls, my dogs, so walking them, and if there were vet bills or admin to be done on that side. And then I've got my charity, my nonprofit, JustOnething365. That on its own is like running a full-time business, from creating the campaigns, rallying the supporters, rallying the brands, creating the artwork, creating the content, the description, the proposals, sharing it out with everyone. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And this is also why I burnt out eventually. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. I had a complete breakdown. And this is after decades of just muscling through because, like you, I'm sure you're tough, you're capable. You keep on keeping on because that is something that we just do, right? That's something that we were told, that we were taught to be strong. We were taught to figure things out. We were taught to keep going. And what happens when you get to breaking point and you've pushed through? I know that you've pushed through breaking point so many times because I have my entire life, until COVID hit and my body broke down. It was all the years of accumulated stress that I'd been keeping inside my body. And when my immune system was so low, I got COVID 3 times in a row, and really bad. It really, really hit me. It knocked me. I won't go into the details, but that was my body eventually just giving up and saying, look, we can't do this anymore. So what I've learned over the years is to prioritize me. And that's the invitation today. Today's mental health hack. And please stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Before you say no, before you say, P, I've heard this all. P, I don't have time for this. P, I get it, but you don't understand my story. All the words that you're saying right now is probably exactly the same that I used to say to every single person for years. And that's okay if you still choose to do it, or if you feel like you absolutely have to because you don't have a choice. Trust me. When I went on holiday, I worked the whole time. I couldn't afford to take holidays. And funny thing is that this week I've been away with, in the Drakensberg and the beautiful mountains, and I've still been working. But the energy has shifted, because what has happened now is that I've actively chosen me and how I've done that. And what I want to encourage you to look at, and it's going to be uncomfortable, especially if you haven't done it before, especially if you're not used to it, if it's not a pattern, a habit, a way of being, is by choosing you often means saying no to someone else. So I used to say yes to everyone. I've naturally been a cheerleader and a coach for others. So if you wanted to have a chat with me, yes, how can I help? The nonprofits, the charities, I've helped over 50 beneficiaries over the years, and everyone got my attention. So when they needed something, yes, I would figure it out. Come hell or high water, I'd figure it out. And yes, I would still make time for my partner. And yes, I would still, and it carried on and on and on. And now it's either I say yes to my business, I'm saying yes to my charity, I'm saying yes to my chosen family, my friendship group here in South Africa. Well, not just in South Africa and abroad, my dad, etc. And yes to my well-being. So if I'm going to say yes to those things, what do I say no to? And what I've had to start saying no to is, for example, and please, I'm not saying that I'm going to say no all the time, but what I've had to do is, everyone that wants a piece of me, I know a lot of people because of the industries that I've been in, and I meet a lot of people because of the industries that I'm in. And everyone wants to have a quick chat, a quick conversation, a quick call. But when I was doing that, and if I continue to do that now, I would have to say no to my business, which I did for a very long time, or I'd have to say no to my charity, or most of the time, I'd say no to me. So I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't taking time out just for me, just for fun, just to do stuff that made my heart happy. Because the guilt I would feel by saying no to you would be too much. So I'd rather say yes to you. I hope that this is resonating with you. And I know that it does for so many people, because so many of my clients have such a similar story. And there are times when you'll feel like, okay, I've compromised myself today because I said yes to someone else. And that's just part of living and part of being. And me making time for others is just a part of me. It's how I naturally show up in the world. But what I've finally started getting good at is choosing me and my life and what brings me ease and what is fun for me. So when I'm exercising, the last 3 days, just in 3 days, I checked my Fitbit, 38 kilometers in just the last 3 days. And that's been just hiking the Blue Grotto Trail, which is just beautiful. And another hike today, which I didn't enjoy so much because it was 2 hours in the sun. Anyway. But what was great is that it was a combination of, I decided I wasn't going to check my phone, although I still took photos. And thank goodness there also wasn't signal. So it was the best time to just be present. What I've also been doing, if you've been following some of my posts, is I'm dancing a lot. And for me, dance has been therapy. And I'll turn my phone off while actively choose things that force me to be present. So if you're struggling to say no to you because you're saying yes to everyone else, can I invite you today to actively choose something that will, until you get used to it, force you to be present in the moment? Something like, I used to go to, book a massage so that I had to be there, but my brain was going, my mind wasn't stopping. Of course, your brain's going, it does. My mind wasn't stopping. And that's since I've been giving and receiving access bars, it's finally helped my mind to quieten down so that I can have more space and ease. So if you want to know more information on what access bars is, and there are access bars facilitators and practitioners all over the world for your mental well-being, stress relief, burnout prevention, anxiety, ADHD, stress, I don't know if I mentioned that, etc. Let me know. I'll happily send you information and see if we can connect you with somewhere wherever you are in the world. But what else is, choose an activity that is forcing you to be present. whatever that is. And it doesn't have to be every day, it doesn't have to be every week. But even if there's one thing, just one thing that you can look forward truly, that is just for you. Now, listen to me. If you're in a relationship, not for you and your partner, not for your partner, because I did that for many, many years, where when I chose time, it wasn't necessarily time for me, it was time for us. And where was the time for me? Eventually, but it took me over a decade, I started choosing things for me, not for us. There has to be a you outside of us. Because when your whole life is committed and dedicated to an us and the other person, and as women, and it doesn't mean that this is stock standard across the way, but for the most part, as women, we often end up choosing us over me. There has to be a you in the us. There has to be your joy, your happiness. And I know that spending time with your family, with your partner, with your kids brings you joy. But what is it just for you? There's a great thing that we say in Access, just for fun, just for me, just for fun, never tell anyone. And it almost sounds a little bit naughty, but it's what can you choose to do that is going to bring you more ease, more peace. Now, we look into all those energies, as part of which is going to start just now, my vision and manifestation workshop. I'm so excited. We tap into more and we uncover more of what it is that brings you joy, because so many times we're like, well, I don't really know, or working brings me joy, which is what I said. Building my business brings me joy. Doing all my charity work brings me joy. And yes, it does. It brings me fulfillment. But what lights me up and what fuels me up, even though, yes, my business, my charity, absolutely, but it's a different type of energy and fulfillment. Now, if you aren't quite clear on what I'm talking about and you want some guidance and support, please pop me a message. Let's chat. We can hop onto a discovery call. If you're interested in working with me, we can see if we're a good fit. And if there's a way that I can support you, then amazing. Or, go to someone else, but get some guidance. Get someone, if you have to, get someone to help you to choose you. Not even kidding. So today, I know, I don't even know how long I've been on, but this is something that's really been important for me because it's something that I've neglected my whole adult life. There were moments in time when I was single that I got to do things just for me. And what I found myself doing is in relationship, it becomes all about service of others, which is what I do with my charity, with my business, friendships, etc. But I can give more, and we've all heard that saying, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. We get it. Logically, we understand the concept. But when you feel like you're being of service to others and you're being selfless and you feel like you're giving, you feel like your cup is. But I really want to encourage you to inject some fun. Inject some fun. I am dancing and trying every different type of dance that there is available. I'm making my way through them all. I did stunt classes for a while, so rolling out of cars, rolling downstairs, for real, me, who would have thunk. What else I've been doing? I've been painting, I've been hiking, I've done some stand-up paddleboarding as part of my reboot retreat. There's something which was a life-changing experience for me. If you want more information on reboot retreat, guys, let me know. I'm doing a collaboration with them. Life transforming. If you've missed past posts that I did on that, just scroll back on my Instagram feed and you'll see them. It was in end of February. So truly life-changing for me. But start taking back your joy, your time, your space for you, and create little moments, even if you can only afford pockets of time. Do that for you, even if if you can only choose you for 15 minutes a week. And that sounds harsh when I reframe it that way. But choose 15 minutes for you, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what you have to tell anyone else. If you have to say to people, I'm not available, I'm in a meeting, and that meeting is in your calendar, in your diary, and it's a date with you, no one else has to know. Just for me, just for fun, never tell anyone. No one needs to know that you want to make time for you, because as soon as you start trying to explain that, I'd love to see you, but you know what? I just need to breathe. I just need to relax. You're not going to breathe and relax. You're going to choose the other versus, guys, I would love to, but I've got a meeting. Sorry, I can't. I would love to, but I've got this. Can't. And that's okay because you're choosing for you. I know that I've repeated myself so much, and I just feel like someone needs to hear this. So thank you for watching. I would love to know in the comments if this has resonated with you at all. And I really hope that it helps. So what is just one thing that you can do, that you can choose today, tonight, wherever you are, for this coming week, that you can choose, or this coming weekend, even if it's 15-minute pockets of time, choose for you. Go do the park run by yourself. When people are like, oh, come with you, I'm like, you know what, it's cool. I actually prefer doing it on my own. Thank you. I love you. You're welcome to run down there, but park run's actually for me. So choose what you want to do. And let me know. I would love to support you. I'd love to cheer you on. I'm going to hop off so that I can get ready for my vision and manifestation workshop. I'm so excited. We've got an amazing group of ladies that are waiting. Can't wait for us to get started. So I adore you. Have a beautiful evening. And remember to check out some of the other hacks. We have until the 31st of May. I've got some incredible speakers lined up next week. You've been stuck with me this week, but we have some great speakers coming up next week. So thank you for being here. I adore you. Have a beautiful